What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioS 3 Raw TV. Well, we got some shit to talk about today, and that is the popular bodybuilding supplement called laxogenin, or LAXO. This product's been out for a few years. I've tried a couple different versions of it. I did feel that it worked. I felt like it was something that if you've never taken steroids before, you're probably going to see some results with. If you've taken steroids before, you're not going to see too much with it. Or if you're on steroids and you add it, you're not going to see much. But if you're a natural competitor or a natural athlete, and you take the laxogenin or LAXO supplement, you're going to see some effect. And I've seen it with women, men, it's across the board. Now, that being said, when I used it, it was a year or two ago, maybe even closer to 2 years ago at this point. Yeah, it's about 2 years ago at this point, maybe even longer than that. As things progress, which means that as companies start putting out a good product, it doesn't take long for things to just go fucking sideways. Okay, so now what happens is everybody and their brother wants to put out a LAXO product after the LAXO comes out, right? Oh, the newest thing. Oh my God, we got to get it in the market. We have to carry it too, right? So they start putting it out, and eventually the shortcuts happen. People start going, well, we're going to cut this out, or you know what? We're going to add this to it. Ours will work better, and people will like ours better than other people because LAXO's a big fad right now. So if ours works better and gets the reputation of working better, then we'll be able to outsell the other people. So what we'll do is we'll spike it with this. Now, some of them put the stuff on the bottle. We're going to find out as of today, some of them don't tell you what's in the bottle. So let's go through here. Now, this is not shocking, but surprising. So, it's I don't know if I say study, but it's more, well, they did wind up doing a study, or at least a experiment, I guess you would call it. So the title of it is What You Should Know About Supplements with 5-alpha-hydroxylaxogenin. It says most bodybuilding supplements with 5-alpha-hydroxylaxogenin contain a hodgepodge of synthesized compounds which producer should have cleared from the preparation. The other supplements contain completely different substances, all right? Not even what normally should be in there, meaning the LAXO, right? Such as anabolic steroids. This is the conclusion of the American chemists who have analyzed 13 of these supplements on the market randomly. So they went to different stores, picked up 13 of the LAXOs, and this is what happened. Methylclostebol. Methylclostebol. I don't even know what the fuck it is. Researchers in the University of Mississippi in 2014 received a new bodybuilding supplement in their lab. They were puzzled. According to the label, the product contained 5-alpha-hydroxylaxogenin, which is, according to the supplement industry, a metabolite of laxogenin. Laxogenin is a steroid-like substance that occurs naturally in Smilax. I didn't even know it came from Smilax. It's interesting. Smilax has been used for fucking 20 years in bodybuilding, but it just doesn't do shit. So, in other plants. And that's weird. In a lab, it says, and that's weird. In a lab, chemists can convert laxogenin into 5-hydroxylaxogenin, but 5-alpha-hydroxylaxogenin does not occur in nature. At least it's never been found in plants. When the researchers analyzed the supplement, they found multiple substances that were not mentioned on the label. Some of them were on the doping list, and one of them was an anabolic steroid, methylclostebol. There's got to be a brand name for that. It must be just the drug name, but I've never heard of it. Maybe I've used the other name of it, like the brand name. Recommended daily dose of the supplement is 30 milligrams of this stuff, right? Now, the study, it said, alarmed by their findings, researchers bought 12 bodybuilding supplements, plus the other one, which is 13, with 5-alpha-hydroxylaxogenin and analyzed them thoroughly. In 7 of those supplements, that actually found that 5-alpha-hydroxylaxogenin. In the remaining 5, there was not even a trace of that substance. So on the label, you're supposed to be getting this LAXO. Only 5 of them actually had any LAXO in it, and the rest of them didn't even have it in it, but it had other things. Hang on. In all of the products, researchers found substances that were not on the label. These 3 products contain anabolic steroids such as DHEA, testosterone propionate, which is really fucking weird because it's not effective orally anyways. The anti-estrogenic androsten-3,5-dione-717-dione. I don't know which one that is. And a steroid that researchers could not identify. Researchers found methoxyvone in 3 products. Now, some of these things, I don't know what the fuck they are. But the bottom line is, things that wound up being found in the products, diazogenin, glycerol fatty acids, unknown steroid compounds, methoxyisoflavone, 5-methyl-7-methoxyflavone. Every product had pretty much had diazogenin in it, which we're going to get to a second of what that actually is. And the final one they tested had DHEA and testosterone propionate in it. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. One of these has anzurogenin in it. Like, I mean, things that like you're like, what the fuck? But it wasn't on the label. They just put them in the product. So some of these things, like DHEA is going to have an effect. If you have low DHEA levels and you take it, you're going to see an effect with it. Otherwise, DHEA doesn't really do that much. But it was used back in the day when it was illegal. It was still used by steroid users. DHEA was a coveted drug back in the late 80s, early 90s, and it wasn't a supplement. It was a drug. And bodybuilders back then who took steroids used to use that too. So there's got to be some kind of compound effect when you take this stuff, or they wouldn't have been using it. I mean, back in the day, they weren't just taking shit just to take shit like they do nowadays. They would literally take stuff that worked. So when we go down here, it says in 10 products, the researchers found analogs of 5-hydroxylaxogenin. These analogs have in common that they arise when you use laxogenin, a relatively cheap plant substance, to synthesize laxogenin or 5-alpha-hydroxylaxogenin. So what these companies did was, not only did they spike their products with stuff that are illegal and could be harmful and are drugs, but they didn't even put actual laxo. They synthesized it from the cheaper version of the diazogenin. So you're not even getting really pure natural laxo. You're not getting what you think you're getting. This is what I keep saying, guys. Many of the things out there that you guys are using, they're not what you think they are. Like the SARMs everybody talks about. There's no pharmaceutical grade SARMs out there. They're just not. They're illegal. They're not legal for fucking use. All these companies that are selling them, they are fucking combining either, if they did have the real SARM in them, they're combining it with pro-hormones and oral steroids or other things. People are getting side effects from these things that they're not supposed to get. And that's not a genetic thing. Well, this person's genetic. No, they're all getting side effects they're not supposed to get, which means it's not a genetic thing. Let me open up the phone again over here. And it says, in conclusion, the researchers suspect that the producer of the extracts with a 5-alpha-hydroxylaxogenin does not sell any extract at all. Instead, the producer bought diazogenin, tried to make 5-alpha-hydroxylaxogenin, and put the half-baked end result on the market without proper purification procedure. These ingredients should not be included in dietary supplements. This is the sources from J-Pharm Biomed Analogs, April of 2019. Now, after getting this, by the way, I don't know who sent this to me in the message on Instagram, but thank you, because I hadn't seen this. And I feel like I was one of the first people talking about Laxo. Primeval Labs had the Laxo when it came out like a couple years ago. And that's the thing. When products first come out, they're clean, they're good, they're badass. And all these other companies, they start looking at the bigger companies and going, well, they're doing this. How do I beat that bigger company? They got to step up on us. They got fucking marketing. People know who they are already. And these smaller companies start fucking doing things. And now what they're doing is they're like, okay, we need a bigger profit margin because we can't afford to buy 50,000 bottles. We can buy 500 bottles. So we use the diazogenin, which will synthesize and make it cheap as fuck. Although we don't even know if it works, and it doesn't. And we'll put that in the product, so if they test it, it's in there. But we'll throw in fucking steroids in there too and random shit. It's like, well, why would you... My question is, if you're that fucking dumb that you think somebody's going to test your product to see if Laxo's in there, and you actually put diazogenin created Laxo in there to make sure it's in there when it's tested, the other shit you put in there is going to be found out too. The steroids, the bullshit, it's all going to be found. So, like, I mean, to me, it makes sense to be like, don't even put the fucking Laxo in. What's the point? Put a bunch of steroids in there, put it on the market. When you get caught, you're fucked. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, the whole concept of them actually putting Laxo in something so that if it's tested, it's in there. And then throwing in a steroid and random shit that doesn't need to belong there, like weird fatty acids and shit. Like, none of that shit makes any fucking sense. And I step back and I'm like, this has got to be somebody who saw an opportunity to make money, but didn't necessarily really understand anything about how to do it, or figured they'd be in and out, make their money and get the fuck out and shut the whole thing down before they get caught. But it's multiple companies. It was like 13 different fucking brands that had their shit fucked up. So this is why I stress, and I can't stress enough, go with companies that you fucking trust. Companies that have been around a long time, big companies that have been around a long time, more than a couple of years, okay? Those companies are been around for a while because of a reason. If these companies have been around for 6 months, 5 months, whatever, be rest assured, we don't know what the fuck is going on. You have no idea. When they start pushing these new products that technically are supposed to have a better effect than the other companies, it's like, well, what's different about it? I mean, if you had Laxo stacked with fucking some other plant steroid and you're like, these combined make sense, they make a synergy, but you have just Laxo, why is your Laxo so much powerful than their Laxo? Why is your plain Laxo more powerful than their Laxo? It doesn't make any sense. So I kind of sit back and I'm like, here's the deal. It is what it is. This shit's real. The shit's out there. Be aware of fucking who you're buying from, what you're buying, because There is a bunch of bullshit out there. And if you're a woman and you wind up taking these fucking steroids that you don't know are in there, because a lot of women like to use Laxo, or you're one of these individuals that really, really prides himself on being a natural bodybuilder, you're clean, you're 100% lifetime natural, and you take this product thinking you're natural, guess what? There goes your fucking lifetime natural card. It's fucking gone. If for some reason you did a show that was tested and this shit showed up, you're fucked, and you had to have no idea. You would be embarrassed. They would make a statement basically publicly saying, so-and-so failed the drug test, therefore he is disqualified. First place now goes to number 2, who is blah, 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 whatever. That's what happens in the natural feds. Everybody gets fucking mailers explaining what the fuck happened when they take your title away when you tested positive. It doesn't happen on the day of the show. It happens like a week later. But the thing is, all this could be avoided if you just stick with companies that you know and trust. Don't go to the fucking local fucking mom and pop shop and they got something that's like $8 cheaper, but they claim that it's so much better. You've never heard of this label before. None of it, like it's like a brand new company, never heard of it, da 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 da. And they push this on you. And there's 5 other companies there that are bigger companies, been around for a long time and have a great track record. If you choose the one that's new, you're taking your fucking chances. My advice, stick with the companies that you know where you get your stuff from, and make sure you just take this random bullshit that fucking you don't know what the fuck is in it. BioStraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. BioStraining.com is the blog. It's a fucking random bullshit. Laxo's fucked bicep, and we are out.